Okay, so the Fani Willis hearing continued today to see whether or not she is going to be disqualified from pursuing a trial against Trump based on the fact that she allocated taxpayer funds and hired her boyfriend and did all sorts of other illegal, egregious things. You got to see the videos from today from Fani Willis's father. Holy macadamia nut. This guy said some unbelievable thing. I mean, it's surreal. I can't believe some of this stuff is real. Stick around for that. But here's what we know so far. I'm going to do a recap of what we know so far. I published the Fani Willis, just fiery, angry, mad, just bombastic video of her blasting the judge, blasting the prosecution, blasting pretty much everybody. I published that yesterday because it was just so, I had to. It was just too much. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, I didn't publish this video, which I wanted to initially, on Nathan Wade and his testimony. Then we're going to get to Fani Willis's father. But here's what we know so far. So her former close friend, which I posted that video, dropped a bombshell, testified that their romantic relationship began well prior to when Fani hired her. I'm sorry, I keep calling her Fani. I apologize. By years, by the way, which means they lied to the court as to the origination of their relationship. Nathan Wade claimed that Fani reimbursed him for all the expensive trips, but no record of that because, no, it was all cash. What? It was all cash. Oh my God. He got caught lying earlier in court submissions. He got caught lying on his earlier court submissions in divorce court and attempted to say the reason he falsely, by the way, swore that he had no receipts was because he only had credit card statements reflecting the charges. So it just gets crazier and crazier and weirder and weirder. Wait till you see these videos that I am just, it almost seems like a scripted Hollywood. There's no other way of putting it. I'm going to show you the videos of Fani Willis's father in court today, but let's take a look. I want to talk a little bit about Nathan Wade, who I didn't get a chance to publish this video. Let's take a look at some of the videos of Nathan Wade, and then we'll get to the father. Check this out. Okay, so this is an excerpt from yesterday before Fani got on the stand, of Nathan Wade talking about when he spent the night with her during her travel. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to kind of look at his body language. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. Is this guy telling the truth? Is this guy just a bold-faced liar? Tell me what you guys think in the comments.
And that you never cohabitated with Willis, correct?
That's correct.
By cohabitation, does that mean that you never spent the night with Willis?
I spent the night with her during travel. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so I just want to qualify your use of the term cohabitation. That means you didn't live together.
That's correct.
But you did spend the night together.
Yes.
When was the first time you spent the night together?
Your Honor.
That's the subject of his affidavit, Judge.
Right, but it might not be the subject of this hearing. So the question is the nature and extent of the relationship. And so if they just spent the night on a single occasion, I don't think we're going to document in detail every single time that happens.
And I don't intend to do that, Judge, but I think what is relevant is when the relationship started, and that's what you had indicated on.
Well, why don't we start with that question and go from there?
And that's what I asked, when the first time he spent the night with her was. That's what I asked.
That's a different question, isn't it?
Okay, so let's not talk about when you
Look at that smile.
When did your romantic relationship with Miss Willis begin?
2022.
When in 2022?
Early 2022.
So you were appointed in November of 2021.
Yes, ma'am.
And your relationship started early. What's early? January? February?
Around March.
So the friend of Fani Willis, who actually worked with her, admitted yesterday that the relationship started in 2019. He says March of 2022. Do you guys believe him? What do you guys pick up on his language? I'm going to show a couple more videos too, but here's something that's really struck me as odd. I want you to check out this video of divorce attorney, Nathan Wade's divorce attorney, and he says something absolutely remarkable which doesn't make any sense at all. And if you are an attorney or if you're a part of the National Bar Association, I would love to, understand how and why the National Bar Association would advise Terrence Bradley, who is Nathan Wade's divorce attorney, on how to avoid questions about Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. Check this out. This is weird.
Refer to what I was told by the bar, that Rule 1.6, the confidentiality applies, and that I would be asking for an immediate review by the Supreme Court.
Sure, but applies to what?
Any communications is what the person at the bar told us.
I mean, even the judge is confused.
He did not qualify.
If you talk to Mr. Wade, that's covered.
Well, Judge, I don't know. He didn't go into those specifics, but this is what was told. I was sitting there with my attorneys.
So that's a little bit odd, and even that you could even tell the judge was like, attorney-client privilege. This is a broader definition of this. This judge is obviously somebody who is, I want to word this carefully, probably more atoned and more aligned, maybe is the proper word, with Fani Willis and her political background and context, etc. I mean, you could definitely tell he was just allowing her to dominate the entire courtroom yesterday. But when he kind of looks quixotic and puzzled as to why Terrence Bradley is getting advice from the National Bar Association, it's very, very odd and very, very strange. And I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this, especially if you have any background in the law? Is that normal? Okay, now I want to show one more video of this guy, Nathan Wade. And the reason I'm showing these videos is because I want to figure out, like, in my view, when I see him talk, I see nothing but a professional heavyweight champion of lying. But I want to know what you think. This is Nathan Wade, who suddenly has amnesia because he doesn't have receipts and he doesn't remember travel that he had with Fani Willis prior to 2022. Check this out.
So in 2023, December, you said you didn't have any receipts.
I do not have any receipts. I did not have any receipts.
But you did travel with Miss Willis in 2023, correct?
I did.
And you traveled with her in 2022, correct?
I did.
And you traveled with her in 2021, correct?
No.
So you only traveled with her in 2022 and 2023?
2022 and 2023 is what I recall.
That's what you recall?
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Okay. So you just don't remember if you traveled with her in 2021?
2022 and 2023 is what I recall.
Is what you
what a
recall.
lawyer
My
answer.
question is, did you travel with her in 2021?
I'm not recalling any travel in 2021.
No recall.
So it's not yes or no, you just don't remember?
I'm not recalling any travel in 2021.
So you did not travel with her in 2021?
No, but this has been covered. Let's keep going.
Thank you.
So it's just the smiles and the kind of smugness and the body language. Somebody who is a communications expert, somebody who's taught this stuff, somebody who eats, sleeps, and breathes this stuff. His body language, his demeanor, his mannerisms, his facial expressions, to me, all signify that he is completely full of it. He's completely lying. He's not telling an ounce of truth. But I'd love to hear your thoughts and what you think of this. And if he is lying, which I think he is, if Fani is lying, which I think she is, and the father, which I'm about to show you, holy macadamia, I don't know where this guy came from at Essential Casting, which he is, this does not bode well. MSNBC even, which again, MSNBC is very, very left-leaning, if not maybe radically left-leaning, has said that it is over. It is all over for Fani Willis. What do you guys think? Do you think there's still a chance that she could be cemented as the prosecutor in the Donald Trump case, or do you think they're going to disqualify her? Let me know in the comments. I've been waiting for this. Oh my God. This is so good. This first video, I just have to share this one, the first one. So the father basically was added to the witness list by the defendants by Fani Willis's attorneys to corroborate the cash kind of question. Why is it that you always have cash? Why is it that you always, you don't use checks, huh? You don't use checks? I'm so confused. And I get it. Like, we're living in a more online ecosystem, but everybody has checks. Everybody has a checkbook, especially professionals, especially W-2 earners. So he was kind of sort of supposed to be a credible witness to corroborate, why Fani Willis carries cash and other things. The first thing that he talks about, or one of the, I think the wildest things he talks about, is his ability to tell the future. Here's what I mean.
I was just stuck there.
I may be wrong, but I believe COVID hit in 2020. So I was asking about 2019. In 2019, did you spend any time in California?
Before COVID was even here in the United States, remember I lived in South Africa and I've traveled the world. I knew COVID was coming before. I knew COVID was around before. They may have announced it in 20, but in fact, I knew about it and I knew what was happening. In 19.
Okay, so
I was just stuck there.
I may be wrong, but I believe COVID.
Ooh. You knew about COVID before COVID? You knew about it back in 2019? That's why you were stuck in California, because you travel the world and you've been to Africa? What in the God's name is going on? What do you mean you already knew about COVID? How? Where? When? What? How? Why? And by the way, if you did know about COVID, why didn't you warn anybody? If you're a so-called traveler, Mr. Global Businessman, you don't have any influential people. Obviously, Fani Willis is an influential person. She's your daughter. You knew about COVID? What is happening here? I'm so... Am I the only one that's confused? Let me know in the comments. I'm losing my mind with this case. It's absolute capital B bonkers. It's bonkers. It's absolute insanity. Here's the cash question. And it gets a little interesting here because, well, it's a black thing. Listen to this.
Did she say anything to you about having a large savings of cash?
Oh, no, see, maybe, excuse me, and Your Honor, I'm not trying to be racist, okay?
Of course not.
But it's a black thing, okay? You know, I was trained, and most black folks, they hide cash or they keep cash, and
They hide?
You always keep some cash, because I've been places, and just because of the color of my skin, for example, I took a fellowship at Harvard when my daughter was just, if I might, Your Honor, when I was just, she was just, maybe 3 years old. And I remember going to a restaurant in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I had a American Express credit card.
That's a tall
and
3-year-old.
maybe a Visa or whatever. And I had a lot of what they call traveler's checks. I don't even know if they still have traveler's checks, but traveler's checks.
Yeah, they do.
And there was a sign said, with the credit card. For whatever reasons, the man would not take my American Express credit card. So I pulled out my Visa card, and he wouldn't take my Visa card. So then I pulled out my traveler's checks. He said, we don't take checks. Now, these were traveler's checks. This was money. I had a $10 bill. I'll never forget this as long as I live. And he said, the bill for my wife at the time, Fani's mother, Fani, and myself was like $9.95, and I had a $10 bill. That was all that. And I always remember that. But even before that, I've always kept cash, and I've told my daughter, you keep 6 months worth of cash always.
What?
For example, I had 3 safes in my house. I put some of my clients' stuff there too, things I didn't want other lawyers to be, because you're always in a firm, and I knew that there were special conditions, so some of my clients' things I would bring home, put them in the safe. But I've always kept safes, and as a matter of fact, I gave my daughter her first cash box and told her, always keep some cash.
Of course you did. I gave my daughter my first cash box. Of course you did. It's a black thing to hide cash? It's a black thing to keep cash on. I always tell my daughter, keep 6 months worth of cash. That is like the most insane, in this day and age too, when there's more home invasions, more crime is up everywhere, especially in California where I live, smash and grabs, organized burglaries, organized mob burglaries. Holy macadamia nut. You don't keep cash on you. The safest place to keep it, okay, is in the bank, and you keep records of everything. You take screenshots of your account. You always download and save your statements. So even if the bank does one day say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have an account," which has actually happened to people before. "I'm sorry, we don't even have any record of you having an account here. Sorry." "Oh, really? Well, look at my statement. Look at my name. Look at my account number. Look at this." You have to always keep. That's the best way, and you keep files of this in a very safe, zip file, a very safe place online. You email it to you. I mean, there's a million. You don't keep 6 months of cash in your house. I hope nobody heard that. Oh, I mean, a lot of people heard that because they're going to find out where you live, Mr. Willis. I would actually probably, take those safes and I would go to the bank today if I were you. Holy macadamia nut. It's a black thing to hide cash. That's just, wow. That's amazing to me. What are your thoughts on all this? I mean, there's so much more to come. This hearing is amazing. What do you think of Nathan Wade's testimony? What do you think of Nathan Wade's divorce attorney saying he got help from the National Bar Association? What do you think of Fani? I actually love Fani Willis's father. I ain't got nothing wrong with this dude. The stuff, I mean, he knew about COVID. I knew about COVID. It's a black thing to hide cash. I mean, this stuff is, you can't make this stuff. You can't write this stuff. I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments down below. I like to have fun on this channel. My purpose with this channel is to bridge the divide, not expand the divide. I'm welcome to all opposing views. Nez, you're completely full of it. You don't hurt my feelings. I am not doing this. I'm not commenting. I'm not analyzing. I'm not using Aristotle's rhetorical principles of ethos, pathos, logos, audience, purpose, message to be right. I believe in America, the country I love, the country I was born and raised in. I believe in America. And in America, the best idea wins. Not your idea, not my idea, the best idea, no matter where it comes from. So please leave a comment. I try with my whole soul best to reply to every single comment. Personally, I'm sorry I kind of look like a bucket of manure. It's hard to keep up with all this. It's the weekend. I got kids. You know, it's hard to keep up with all this amazing current events, all these things that are happening right now, especially in this hearing. As always, make sure that you check out these videos over here. Subscribe and follow down there. In the pinned comment is our free newsletter. It's absolutely free. Make sure you sign up for that. It's absolutely free so you don't miss out on anything. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. And I'll see you soon.